So back in 2017, we saw Aaron Judge pop off for one of the greatest rookie seasons in Major League Baseball history. He ended that year with 52 home runs, an insane 171 OPS plus, and in my opinion, he was robbed of MVP by Jose Altuve and the Riders. I'm sorry, Astros fans. I know I've clowned on you a lot, but I would say if we put up this graphic, you can clearly see that Jose Altuve was not the rightful winner back in 2017. But speaking of Aaron Judge, you would think over the next 2 or 3 seasons, because he put up those insane numbers, that he would get paid like a top 10 player that he is. No, he got paid like an unproven prospect, and this has always been one of the weirder things about Major League Baseball, at least to me. If you get called up and you have an Aaron Judge 2017 season, it's not going to earn you any money over the next few seasons unless you do what guys like Ronald Acuna Jr., Fernando Tatis Jr., and Wander Franco did. They signed a contract extension. I'm not sure if talks ever happened between Judge and the Yankees of signing a contract extension, but it was not presented to him, so he was making about league minimum his first 3 seasons in baseball, even though he was putting up monster numbers. Now, again, you can sign a contract extension, but you leave money on the table, aka Ronald Acuna Jr., a top 10 player when healthy, in my opinion. He signed a 10-year deal, so he has the long-term security, but he undersold himself. He only signed for $124 million. To me, he is better than Wander Franco. Wander Franco got 11 years, $182 million. So Franco is going to be making more than Ronald. It just really bums me out because Acuna is, again, a top 10 player when healthy. He is going to be making the Braves a ton of money just by simply existing and being on the ball field. So what the owners and the players are trying to do is they are trying to avoid a Ronald Acuna situation where he is underselling himself for long-term security and an Aaron Judge situation. They are trying to bridge the gap of a lack of service time and getting the bag as soon as possible. So in their newest proposal, the lockout is still in place. We do not have baseball in 2022 as of this moment, but I'm hearing rumblings that it's getting close. The players asked for a $105 million pre-arbitration pool. We're going to go ahead and break that down in just a moment. Actually, let's do that right now. Let's ask the man himself, Jeff Passan. I reached out to him on Twitter, and he gracefully and eloquently, very in-depthly, that's not even a word, told us exactly what was happening in the newest proposal and why Aaron Judge, if he had made his rookie debut in 2022, he would have been getting a bag in 2023 because of his performance, putting up MVP numbers. So again, they're trying to bridge the gap of a lack of service time and getting a bag as soon as possible without having to sign a long-term contract like Ronald Acuna Jr. and unfortunately missing out on millions and millions of dollars just to try and preserve making that much money. All right, so Jeff Passan says, pre-arb pool. This is what they're proposing. Players with 3+, 4+, and 5+ years of Major League service, and the 16% of those in the 2+ class with the most service, also known as Super 2s, have their salaries determined through arbitration, a precedent-based system in which the sides negotiate a salary. The team and the player, those are the sides. If they can't, each proposes a salary number and argue it in front of a 3-person arbitration panel, which ultimately sides with either the player or the club. Exhibit A, Chris Bryant went to arbitration with the Cubs and lost. A pre-arbitration pool is a way to get money to players before arbitration. The idea is that players with 0 to 3 Major League service get paid poorly even when they're performing well. Aaron Judge. You can see a 2+ guy win MVP at $600,000. I think that might have been Cody Bellinger. The pool would be a set amount of money negotiated by the side that comes from the league's central fund and thus isn't being taken from clubs, which would de-incentivize them from spending in free agency. That pool would be divvied up among the 30 pre-arbitration players with the highest WAR based on a to-be-determined formula. Hope that helps. Jeff, the Jet Passan, absolutely, I really appreciate that because I was a little bit confused as to how this was going to work. So pretty much what he said is that the players are proposing a pre-arbitration pool worth $105 million. The owners came back at $10 million. That is absolutely laughable. But let's say that Bobby Witt Jr. comes up for the Kansas City Royals and he finishes in the top 30 for WAR based off their to-be-determined formula. Bobby Witt Jr. would get basically a bonus for finishing in the top 30, thus resulting in more money in his pocket. And I'm not sure if that would prevent him from signing an underwhelming contract extension like Ronald Acuna Jr. Maybe he would be able to hold over until he becomes a true free agent and he can sign for $400 million at 26 years old, 27 years old, as opposed to really losing out on your prime and not getting to be a free agent until you're 32, 33 years old, exactly what happened to Ronald Acuna Jr. But I think Ronald's going to be a free agent at 30-ish, so he should be all right. In essence, the players want to get paid for performance, and to me, that makes perfect sense. I believe that NBA and NFL does a better job, that if you pop off and you have a really good first or second season, a bonus gets implemented, they have incentives and everything like that. Now, again, there are incentives in Major League Baseball, but I really feel like this could be a huge stepping stone in the right direction for Major League Baseball. I don't know if you can really call it a rule, something that could change the face of baseball and make it seem like we're not as cheap, because realistically, the owners of Major League Baseball are perceived as some of the cheapest owners in professional sports, and this is a way to divvy up money and give it to the players who rightfully deserve more, especially if they have crazy rookie seasons like Ryan Mountcastle and Wander Franco and Randy Arozarena. Randy Arozarena, he was traded from the Cardinals to the Rays, and the Rays don't spend any money, so you know he wasn't making any money, becomes a postseason legend, wins Rookie of the Year, so he deserves to get a good amount of money, and I'm okay with this proposal. I don't know if $10 million is going to work, Mr. Owners and Robert Manfred. $10 million? Are you crazy? That's like going on eBay, seeing a $400,000 Mike Trout card and offering $4 grand. It's never going to work. It's kind of a slap in the face. So if they could agree upon $50 million, $75 million, and actually spread that out to the best players of the year, I really like that. It gives an incentive to bring up your top prospects because you're not really losing out on a ton of money. And they also made proposals that if you bring up your top prospect and they finish in the top 5 in MVP like Aaron Judge, you get draft picks. So the Yankees would have gotten draft picks if this happened in 2022. Aaron Judge would have gotten a bag and he had a lot more money to spend in the offseason. So to me, I'm okay with this. I like that the sides are actually talking on a more consistent basis. It wasn't as bad as the first proposal where they met, they hated each other so much, and they didn't reconvene for the next 3 or 4 weeks. They are talking almost 2 or 3 times a week. So good news is on the horizon. I fully expect baseball to be played in 2022. And let me know in the comment section down below, what do you make of this new rule or proposal that could be coming to Major League Baseball as soon as 2022? Let me recap real quick. Again, Jeff Passan, he laid it out. This is a pre-arbitration pool. So again, a player can get money up front before arbitration, then they can go to arbitration and they can present their case to an arbiter, and that arbiter will have to decide, yes, you deserve to get paid more, or you're going to have to go ahead and accept the club's offer. Chris Bryant, in my opinion, he deserved more than what he got, and honestly, I don't think he's going to go back to the Cubs because of the service time manipulation and also the fact that the Cubs took him to arbitration and he lost that case. It just creates a vendetta, and I'm not about that. So if there are ways to avoid personal vendettas against the team and the owners, I'm all about that. This is a big win for Major League Baseball. I hope that it happens. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.